Hi everyone. I hope you're all doing okay. Um, I'm actually not having a very good day today, and I really shouldn't be filming. I should be, first of all, I should be taking my magnesium bath. Here I go, starting with that again. But anyway, the picture of my daughter and I is distracting me because every time I want to look at the camera, I look at us, which I love. This is like my favorite picture of my daughter and I. Um, Gosh, I would have been in my 20s. She's 31 now. And I love this picture because I was very spontaneous in those days. I guess I kind of still am spontaneous, actually, because we can't plan with chronic illness. So I guess we are spontaneous in some ways. And I used to live in this really small. It was a two-bedroom apartment, but it was like really small. But yet I had a lot of visitors, a lot of friends. It was one of those places, you have different homes, and they all kind of have a different feel to them. This home was like my favorite place up until towards the end, and then it wasn't. But for most of when I stayed there, it was my favorite place because people would come and visit all the time. And yeah, like I didn't have an extra room or anything. They would just sleep on the couch and they could stay for days, or people would just show up suddenly. I'd see somebody like waving at the window, can I come up? It's like, yeah. Anyway, so I had a friend who used to sell posters in Europe, mainly Belgium. Yeah. And yeah, anyway, so one night he and I were talking, and he's just a platonic friend. And I guess my daughter must have been off school, and he was going to go off to Belgium the next day to sell posters. And I was like, can I come? Actually, can we come? Or did he ask us to come? I can't remember, but we went. And so this is when we first got to our destination. I think this was Bruges, I think. I think we went to Bruges first. And I remember that tomato salad I had. And my daughter and I were just so relaxed. And she's got her little hand around my shoulder. And we were just both so happy and relaxed. And I just love that picture. It's just very, when children get older, they don't want to be in front of the camera, or they want to pose, or they're self-conscious or whatever. But at that age, they don't care. And it was just so lovely. A lovely memory. But yeah, because I'm trying to look at you guys. I see this and it's distracting me. So I'm going to put it over here. Gosh, that was a long... Obviously, I'm all over the place, but I do have a list, so I won't be all over the place. So yeah, it's been a while that I've had a like proper just chat, and I just wanted to touch base. And I hope you're all doing okay. Let me know how you're all doing. Let me know what you've been up to now that summer has started. How has it been for you? Are you coping with the heat? I was going to do a video about all these lovely suggestions that I hear on Instagram and YouTube and stuff and Facebook about how to keep cool. I might still do that because summer has just started. But yeah, if you have any tips, you can put them in the comments and I'll put it in that video. And obviously I'll mention you if you like, if you don't mind. So, breathe. My nose is very blocked, and also I'm quite fatigued. So I am a bit breathless and trying to keep this quick. Basically, I try to rearrange. Long story short, I thought this suitcase was going to fit into my closet, and I had to move all my books and videos out of that closet for the suitcase to fit, and it didn't fit. And then the books and everything were out, so I started placing them in different places, and now I've got a pile right in front of me, and I was trying to get the tripod out and a bit out of breath just to move a few things. Where is my list? I wrote it a while ago. Story time and a little catch up, I've said. Oh my god, yes, the first thing. I wonder if I should have breaks already. I'm just going to put this jacket behind me because my back is hurting a bit. Oh, just put this behind me. That's better. Before I start, if anybody has a good knows of good strapless bras, please let me know. I mean, I could go and buy a thin strapped pink bra because I have a lot of pink tops. But if anybody knows of good strapless, then I could wear it with anything. In the past, whenever I've bought strapless bras, they always fall down for me. So I need like a recommendation of a really good one. What I normally do is put these straps here, but I couldn't be bothered, so because I just wanted to get the video started. Okay, it's been 6 minutes and I haven't even started properly. So. All right, so before I posted the Beyond Sjogren's video of Jeremy, and I really hope that was useful. I think we're like a week before that or around that time, I had my phone stolen. I need a break already, so I'm going to have a 2-minute break and then I'm going to come back. Okay. That's better. I actually realized that the windows were all closed and I get fatigued if it's hot. So that wasn't helping as I'm already fatigued. Okay. Yeah, phone. So I'm not going to tell you the whole story of that. I'll tell you bits of it because I have a different story I want to tell, which I think you'll find more interesting. So, that was a crazy week. I got out with my daughter to Oxford Street on a Saturday, and I hadn't done that since before COVID, which means before I got diagnosed with Sjogren's and before I got my chronic fatigue. And I got there early, so I had to wait for half an hour. So I just stood in Oxford Street, like at Tottenham Court Road Station. I just stood there, and not thinking that obviously that's not good for someone who has chronic fatigue. Because my baseline has got higher, I'm not as fatigued as I used to be, in the sense that basically my baseline is better. I'm not as fatigued, but I'm chronic. I have chronic illness, I have chronic fatigue. It's just a little bit better. So sometimes I get a little bit confused and think I'm okay and then I'm not really. So I waited half an hour, stood waiting half an hour. In the last 2 minutes I realized, I could have leaned against the post, and I did that. We went for lunch at a very lovely place. That was very relaxing. But then afterwards we decided to go through Soho. We decided to look at some shops. Then I had to walk a while to get the bus back, and I had to get 2 buses, and I had taken 2 buses there, and it was a long day. And all I needed was a couple of days of just staying in to recuperate from something that I haven't done that kind of thing for years. It was very, very busy there. So even though I could cope with the people and the lights and the sounds, when normally I can't cope with those things, and it's only because I'm a little bit better, it just means I can tolerate them a little bit more. But I realized that still I will get an effect after. Because usually what would happen is when I have been less tolerant, say I go to a coffee shop and it's loud, I'll be feeling it right then and there. But now that my tolerance is and my baseline is a bit higher, I can tolerate it when I'm there, but I still react later. So anyway, try to take it easy. And also, I hadn't been in greenery for a while. I am somebody who really needs to be in nature a lot. Then going into the middle of central London, I really needed that balance. But I didn't go the next day. So the day after, I went on Hampstead Heath. And I had a lot of food shopping to do from different shops on the way back. And because of specialist things that I eat and drink. And so there's a supermarket very near me. So that was the last place I had to go. And I was fatigued, brain fogged, just wanted to get home, not paying attention. I remember like getting a basket because I knew I had more stuff I needed and trying to fit everything in my bag and whatever, come home. And because I got into this habit of not looking at my phone as often, I just like check it maybe every few hours. So it took a couple of hours and I needed the phone. So I'm looking for my phone and I'm like, where is it? So basically I think I must have left it in a basket. I don't think anybody stole it from me as I was walking. I'm not sure though. I think I left it behind in the supermarket and then somebody picked it up. Anyway, I found Find Your Phone app. I used that. And the phone was a couple of streets away in a very decent, these like mansion houses, places. And I thought, okay, the person has found it either probably on the street, because in the supermarket they would give it back to the manager. They probably want to give it to the police. They're not doing it yet. They brought it home. They're going to do it later. So I went to knock at the door to get the phone back because I felt that it would be okay. It would be like a decent person and all that. Nobody answered. And you have to bear in mind that I was really, really fatigued, and all I wanted to do is go home and crash and just stay at home for a few days. But I wasn't thinking. I could have taken the bus. Even though it was 2 roads down, there was a bus that I could take. But I walked there and I waited around buzzing and buzzed a few neighbors were there, and I just came back and I crashed. And I spoke to a friend who said that he lives in the neighborhood and he said he'll go and check it out. So anyway, he never did it. He never bothered. I have to say that 7 days later, he messages me saying, "Oh, by the way, I never got anywhere with blah blah place." Right, so that was that. So I thought, oh, thank God. Oh, how nice that a friend will go and have because I was basically going to ask the caretaker there if they could have a look and talk to people, maybe put a note in those flats. Anyway, he didn't. I couldn't move the next day, so I didn't. The following day, I took a bus there. Basically, for about 5 days, I was going back and forth trying to find my phone because it was still at the same address. It then moved and it was on the same road, but not at that exact address. And then I'd go to try to find the caretaker and blah, blah, blah. I finally found which building it was in. And you wouldn't be able to know which apartment because it wouldn't say, it would just say it's in this building. I did file a police report the first day. I did find out later that that police report got closed on that first day. I went to a police station that had been, because they weren't answering my calls, I had to go far away to another police station, finding out they were closed. I had to then wait another day, being fatigued, and then go to another police station where they were open, and then they told me that the file had been closed the first day because I hadn't mentioned CCTV, because I didn't think that it was stolen in the supermarket. I thought maybe it was on the way back home. So I told them, no, actually there was CCTV. So they reopened the case, and the guy said, to be honest, I don't think that the inspector is going to bother looking at the CCTV. Because the thing is, like, at least if they looked at the CCTV, maybe it was a regular thief they recognized and they could go to the guy's place. You know what I mean? Other than that, I then had to go to the supermarket and ask them to look at CCTV, and it's been a very, very long story. The only thing, so basically I know where my phone is and nobody's doing anything about it, and that's that, and I can't do anything about it. So that's that. I've lost my phone. And the problem with it was that it was a much better phone than the one this old one that I had given to my mom's. That phone was what I was filming on, and it was much better quality. So I'm very annoyed about that, because I was so happy that finally I was getting better quality videos for YouTube. That's really my main problem. And also, I can't afford another phone, and this one is dying. So so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, I can't afford anything right now, so that was that. But anyway, in the middle of all that happening, and this has taken me 10 minutes to explain, and I don't think I can edit much of it, so I apologize. In the middle of that happening, I had ordered a little freezer to put on top of my kitchen counter. I had just come back from one of my trips to that road, and the door buzzed. I was expecting 2 packages. One was this amazing electric scrub thing, which I will show you in a different video, and the other was the freezer. I didn't know which one it was going to be. I was barefoot, got my keys, went halfway down the stairs, and I saw it's the freezer. Like I say, it's not a huge freezer. It's whatever is the smallest one you can get that you can put on a counter top. The delivery guy came, and I said, would you mind bringing it upstairs? I'm only on the first floor, and I have quite wide stairs, steps. And he said, only if you help me now. Obviously, I couldn't help him. So I said, I'm really, really sorry, but I suffer with chronic fatigue. I just can't. It will just really, I just won't be able to. And he kind of paused. So say here is the freezer, and he's standing talking to me, and he's saying, only if you can help. And I say that, and he kind of looks at the freezer, and he's kind of looking, and I know he's thinking, and I'm not sure what he's thinking. Did he not understand what chronic fatigue is? Is he thinking, how should he bring the freezer up? So I said, I have chronic fatigue, fatigue. I really get tired, unwell. I have maybe I said I have an autoimmune, I can't remember, but I was trying to explain. I said, I can't, I wish I could, I can't. And so he's still looking, and he says, you can order, but you can't carry. But actually much worse than that. Oh, you can order, but you can't carry. And I was in close to tears because of what was going on all fucking week. Excuse my language, but yeah. And I was so out of it. So basically, because I was going through a flare and then the phone thing happened, I hadn't had a chance to rest. And so all the cortisol or whatever was just for me to be able to go and get my phone, try to find my phone. So I didn't have any energy in me. It had all been sucked out of me. So everything was really slow. And I think he could probably be able to tell maybe that I wasn't well. I don't know, obviously not. But I wasn't even thinking, oh my God, how rude. That's just rude. That's just rude from a delivery guy to a customer, no matter whether you have chronic illness or not. That's just rude. You don't do that as your delivery guy. I'm sure your company would not appreciate you saying, oh, you can order, but you can't you can't carry. Excuse me, you're the delivery guy. Yes, I order, you deliver. So I just, because I didn't have the energy to be tactful, and instead of saying, my goodness, that's so rude, how dare you, or, yeah, because there's no way I would not react to such a comment. All he had to say was, oh, okay, I can't carry it either, so I'm so sorry, I'm just going to have to leave it downstairs. And I would have said, that's absolutely fine. I have a strong neighbor downstairs, and there's a builder who sometimes comes, and I could ask them both to bring it up. You know what I mean? That would have been it. You can't carry it, I understand, believe me, because I can't carry things. Though he could have carried it. A man of his stature and build, and the fact that he delivered these big things, he could carry it. It wasn't that big. I don't think it would have been that heavy, but I'm sure, the box is always a lot bigger than it's still, me, before chronic illness, I could have carried it. So, yeah, so I said to him, are you stupid? I just said, are you stupid? Because I couldn't comprehend that comment. Oh, you can order, but you can't carry. I mean, how are the two things, how stupid of a comment? Nothing to do with chronic illness. That's just the stupidest comment ever. If I want to take it to the chronic illness bit, about how ignorant he was, how insensitive he was, how I got treated for being, basically having a disability, that all aside, the guy was just a stupid idiot. Anyway, it doesn't stop there. Then he says, nobody calls me stupid. So it's okay for him to call me all those things, but, tell me that. But yeah, nobody calls me stupid. I'm taking the freezer back. He starts taking it back. He had it on this roller thing. Closes, opens it. And I had no energy. And I was barefoot. And I just following him. Because I'm so angry, but I didn't have the oomph. And I was just like, excuse me, I ordered that. You have to bring it back. And he's like, no, I'm not going to bring it back. And I said, well, I'll tell your manager. And he's like, I don't care if you tell my manager, nobody calls me stupid. And that was that. And he went. And I had just had a Sainsbury's delivery just before he showed up with frozen products because I knew the freezer was coming that day. And I always write in the notes that I have chronic fatigue. Would you mind bringing them upstairs? Nobody minds. It's only one floor. And if there's never been, I've had a bed delivered. I've had, things. Um, I had this chest delivered, and people have always tried to help. And if they can't, I understand. Anyway, I need another break. So that was that. And then I complained. I straight away, it was a company through Amazon. So straight away, I asked Amazon if they could refund me. And then they gave me the company's details. And I asked them if they could refund me. And I complained. And they were really sorry. And they refunded me. Well, they said they have to wait for the the freezer to get back to them. And then they can refund me. And then they gave me the courier's telephone number. And they told me that if I'd like to make a complaint, to contact them. So then it took me days because I was having like a hard time. So it took me days, and then I called them up and they were really sorry. And then they asked me to email this and put it all in writing. And they did say, and I said, I bet the driver and delivery guy had a very different story. And she said, yeah. But she believed me. I mean, she just felt really bad. And so I've lost that email. That was like a week ago when she gave it to me. It'll take me a couple of days to have to find their number again and call them and get the email again, because there's just been a lot going on. So let's see what else I want to talk about. I was going to wait till I was feeling better to film this, but it would take probably a lot longer, probably another week. And I just wanted to have a video out. Firstly, because I just felt a bit strange putting my interview with Jeremy from Beyond Showgrounds out and then not having just like this, a one-to-one with you guys. Like I wanted to have one like 2 days later, but things just kept happening. So let me look at my list. What else have I said here? Stolen phone, freezer, Jeremy video, what I think, my journey with him. Okay, all that is going to be another video because I'm too tired today. What I am going to ask about his video, though, was if anybody is... I realized that it was a long video, and there was a lot of information in each video, in each section. And I wanted to ask you guys if you would prefer for me to... You know how I put it in sections, like a title? Would you prefer me to actually post those in those sections? So like when I ask him what is functional medicine, like have that as a post, a video. So waiting for this to go away. Oh wow. Oh wow, this happened the other day too. Oh my god, that's a lot of helicopters. I hope everybody's okay. Yeah, would you like that? Would you like them in sections? I can easily do that, and maybe it'll be like easier to digest. Yeah, so let me know. If you'd like me to then post them in sections, I will do, no problem. And then the other thing I wanted to say was, in that video, when I asked him to explain his process, he started talking about something, and then I butted in, and then he kind of went on talking about what I butted in with, and then I butted in again. And so I think we had a whole section, I have to rewatch it, but I think we had this whole section of talking about nutrition, really. So I am going to do that, put that up as well. So it's a bit random because it was kind of like in the middle of things, but I think we had an interesting conversation about nutrition. So that'll be a video coming up. So I wanted to let you know that. And yeah, actually, I mean, I can say basically we're now booking my first session with him. I think what happens in the first one, not the half an hour free one, that one is just like for him to know who you are, what your issues are, what your main problems are, what you'd like, what you're thinking, what's been happening, what the doctors have been doing, what tests, all that kind of stuff. Like he'll just have a little bit of a conversation. Whereas this one now, which will be a paid one, I'm presuming, I think, is going to be when he's going to ask these questions in much more detail, and we're going to arrange, I think he will be wanting to get all my doctor's details, my hospital details. Like, they will do that independently, like not through me, but he'll probably have to ask me the details of my doctor's details and stuff. What we would like to concentrate on first, because I don't have money. We're going to start with the lowest priced thing, which is just going to be like starting and then seeing what tests and what things I should do first. That would be most helpful. Kind of figuring that out, just figuring out how to go ahead with it. And then from there, yeah. So I could tell you much more once I actually have the session, because I could be a little bit off with what we're going to do. But I think that's the gist. So my journey with him, when I start with him, I don't know yet. He hasn't messaged me yet. We're kind of figuring it out. Finally getting my physio. I'll talk about that another time. Yeah, I'm too tired to talk about things. I just wanted to pop on here because I always forget this, but I just wanted to quickly say that if you enjoy my videos or you get something out of it, whether it's entertainment or information or anything at all, and you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It would really help my channel, and if it helps my channel, then I can do more. I can be on here more with actually different ideas, different things. I mean, I have some ideas, but yeah, but it would really help if my channel has more subscribers. And so if you haven't subscribed and you do get some kind of benefit, anything at all, any kind of benefit at all, then I would really love it if you would subscribe, like, comment, share. But yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. One thing I wanted to ask is, I don't actually know how many of you watching suffer with chronic fatigue in particular. How many of you watching, and specifically also people with Sjogren's who are watching, which should be the majority of you who have Sjogren's who are watching. How many of you suffer with chronic fatigue? The reason why I'm asking is because I obviously suffer with it, and I talk about it a lot, and I don't want to, sometimes I feel like that's all I talk about. And if, say, 50% of you suffer with it and the other 50 don't, I'd like to know so I can cater for everyone, and I can talk about other things too, because there are, there is a lot to talk about. So, and people I could bring on to talk about these things, and all sorts of things. So products, just all sorts of things. So even if you don't really want to comment too much, if you could maybe put a hug sign emoji if you do suffer from chronic fatigue, and if not, maybe you could say what is your main issue with Sjogren's, so that I can have an idea for future videos. Just wanted to say hi and catch up, and hopefully my next video will be a lot better. I also have a really nice idea of something to do, but I'm not even going to mention it because it spoils the video. It's not a big deal, but it's a video, a nice video, but it might not happen till beginning of August, because I have to buy a few things, and I need to get some money first to buy these things. But anyway, I will keep you posted with my Beyond Sjogren's journey. I think every time I have a session with him, I'll come in here and tell you about it, so it's fresh, like straight off, like as soon as I get off the phone with him, online with him, I'll get on here and talk about it, so that'll be fresh. And yeah, other things. Anyway, I hope you're all doing okay. Is anybody going away for a summer holiday? If so, let me know. And yeah, I just hope you're all okay. Sending you all lots of love, and see you soon. Bye.